We should be live. What's going on, family? What's going on? Live streaming on Valentine's Day. Happy Valentine's Day to the ones that celebrate Valentine's Day. Happy Valentine's Day, man. Let me go ahead and post out the stream real quick. We live. Max, what's going on, man? Max was good. We here on this Wednesday, man. I feel like Super Bowl Sunday was just yesterday. It's crazy. Max was good. James was good. Penixer Daniels is who I hope we draft. We got many needs, and I don't think DJ is capable. James coming in, firing shots off rip. Happy Valentine's Day, y'all, man. Hope y'all day's going good. Hope y'all week is going good. Wait for a couple more people to enter the building. Make sure you say what's good. If you enter into the live stream, make sure you say what's up. Say what's up in the chat. We're reading every single chat. And yeah, we're just here to talk about Giants offseason, what we want, what we don't want, who we do not want. But I got to ask for the ones that are here now, how do you feel about that Super Bowl ending, man? Like how that Super Bowl ended up being altogether. I was shocked. Obviously, I think for sure, right now, the Chiefs have fully ascended into what the Patriots were. I think they have, man. I can't root for them. I cannot root for the Chiefs for nothing. They literally feel like the modern day Patriots now, making the Super Bowl left and right. So how'd y'all feel about the Super Bowl, man? I definitely think the 49ers fumbled. They fumbled literally and figuratively. They literally fumbled the game. That's what I think, man. Dr. Garrett was good. Not too sure if I've seen you in here before. Appreciate you joining in the live stream. Appreciate it. I could be wrong, though. We got 7 people in the building, man. We only got 2 likes. Like of the stream. Trying to get our fellow brethren to come in here. Like of the stream, man. Appreciate y'all for joining in. Tuning in on this Wednesday night, Valentine's Day. Hope y'all enjoyed your Valentine's Day. If you got a boo, hope you spent it well with them. If you don't, you gonna get one this year. I'm proclaiming. James, drafting a QB isn't an impediment to addressing need. Agreed. Do you think if Jones has more talent, he will be better all of a sudden? Real question. It's just so, honestly, I don't think Daniel Jones is the worst QB. And that's not me saying he's a good QB. It's not. I do think the potential is there. I'm officially over the whole get him more talent, do this, do that. He'll start playing better. I'm officially over that. It's been way too long. Oh, this way. It's been way too long doing that. So I'm over that, man. I do think, he can be better, but I'm over it. I'm over that whole, idea, man, cuz I was campaigning for that for too long. We draft wide receivers, we get him a Jalen Hyatt, and we know what happened. It's not his fault. It's not all on DJ, but I'm off of that, man. I'm off of that. Garrett says good second half. The second half was good. The first half was straight defense, and I'd love to see a game like that. Shout out to Spags, man. Former Giants defensive coordinator, Spagnuolo. 4 rings. 4 rings as a coordinator. It's crazy. It's truly crazy. Shout out to Spags, man. Didn't care, but it just proves that only an elite QB can win the Super Bowl. So we go down the list. The most recent QBs to win the Super Bowl, obviously, Patrick Mahomes has won one. We know Brady has won one. We know Matthew Stafford has won one. Do we think Matthew Stafford's elite? Maybe. Yeah, he's a top QB in the league. Yeah. Elite QB. That's facts. James says Flows was elite QB max. Flows? I think KC had enough of Tony. Man, don't get me started on Tony, man. Don't get me started on Tony. Let me just pull this up for y'all real quick, man. I don't know how long. How long have y'all been subscribed to the Juke, man? How long y'all been a part of the Juke family? Y'all let me know in the chat how long you've been a part of it, because I got a video that I posted of Kadarius Toney. And if you haven't watched it, if you have not watched it, please do. Please do. I'm just gonna put this up real quick. Oh, wrong one. Oh no, right one. I'm just over here showing y'all my chat. This video right here. You can't see my mouse, but the one that's clicking on and off. We do not miss you, Kadarius Toney. Go ahead and watch that video. And maybe you don't even have to watch the whole video. Maybe you don't even have to watch the whole video. Go look in the comments, man. People are coming at my neck for saying that he's not going to be, he's not all that, and the Giants shouldn't miss him. They were saying he's going to be a wide receiver 1. Like, please, go to the comments from this video. Now, some of my top videos are edited a bit and cut up a bit. There was some copyright issues in those. So if you see it and the sequence of the video is weird, it's because I had to alter the video. But, yeah, if you haven't been subscribed to the Juke for that long, if you haven't, please. And when I say please, please go ahead and watch that, man. Go ahead and watch that. DJ missed too many reads for sure. Dr. Garrett says, can't count on DJ. Need to get a QB in this draft. What QB we getting, man? What QB are we getting? Can we get a QB? Tudo, my guy, was good, bro. How did this past Sunday go? How did Sunday go, man? Let me know. Already with the donate, man. Tudo, you go crazy. Appreciate the donation. Means a lot. Appreciate it. Much love and respect, Juke, and all diehard Giants fans in America. Greetings from our entire Italian national rugby team in Italy. We say, I tried to say this last time. Let's try to say it again. Foghe Abu Ed. We're going to stick with that. So we're going to stick with that one. 9 people are in the building, man. We only got 4 likes. Like up the stream if you joined in. Make sure you say what's good in the chat. We're here talking about anything and all Giants. Feel free to say your thoughts on anything. That's what we're here to talk about, man. So let's get straight into business, man. Let's get straight into business. Let's get straight into business. Who's going to be our QB next year? Who's going to be our QB next year? Who do you think is going to be our quarterback next year? Is it going to be in the draft? Is it going to be free agent? Now, one of the things we can talk about, of course, the free agents that are available, the people that are in the draft. Notable names, as we know, Caleb Williams, Jaden Daniels, Drake May. I think after that, you see a fall off. Then you start talking about guys like J.J. McCarthy. You talk about guys like Bo Nix, Michael Penix. That's the next tier. And from there, I think that's all you're going to see being talked about in Giants land. I don't think Spencer Rattler should be a topic. I don't think Milton from Tennessee should be a topic. Those are other QBs that probably will get taken in the top 4 rounds. But I don't think those guys should even be in consideration for being on the Giants. That's who's available in the draft. Now move to free agency. You're going to see guys like Russell Wilson be spoken about. I don't think he's coming to New York. But we got Russell Wilson, Mitch Trubisky, and there's no way it should even be a conversation. But Mitch Trubisky, Drew Lock, no way. Jacoby Brissett, other QBs like that. And the light behind me just went out. So much for that. No background. No backdrop on there, man. But yeah, what you think? What y'all think, man? Nick Foles QB for Eagles beat Pats, but he's not elite. Very true. He played well. Played well though. I watched the video. Tony was a bust. They blamed it on Daniel Jones why he was bad because he don't have pros mindset. Yeah. If y'all, James, I forgot to address this. Dr. Garrett being a part of the channel for 6 months. Appreciate you, by the way. Appreciate that. I think you guys been in here for a minute, man. I think you guys been in here for a minute, but that Kadarius Toney videos, that's one of the funniest for me. Funniest for me. Because the whole reason why I made the video is because after they won the Super Bowl, they went out and said, man, I don't know why the Giants let this guy go. You had Kelsey saying it. You had Juju Smith talking about he's a dog. Like, I don't know what the Giants were doing. Now look at it. Man did not play a single postseason game. And now I posted a couple series of YouTube shorts where I was just like, you know, congratulations to the Bills. Or no, I said congratulations to the Chiefs because the Bills' best weapon didn't play. That was Kadarius Toney. Then, when they said he was inactive for the championship game, I said, congratulations to the Chiefs, man. They officially made the Super Bowl before the game was even played because Kadarius Toney was on the field. I was going to say the same thing about the Super Bowl, but I decided not to because I wanted the Niners to win. I wanted them to win bad, and they didn't. Kadarius Toney not playing any of those games. That guy about to get booted, man. That guy is about to get booted. We got 10 people in here, man. Only 5 likes on the stream. Like up the stream. Say what's good in the chat. We're reading all chats right now. All chats. James, you're funny, but you named one exception to the rule. If you want a constant invite to the dance, you need an elite QB. That's a reason field goal Foles isn't with the Eagles anymore. I'd be good if they get Penix or McCarthy. What's the hype with McCarthy, man? Y'all let me know. Now, I don't watch college football. If you guys have been watching me for a bit, I always say this. I don't watch college football. Let me get in some more light. I need to get a little more bright up front, man. We don't got the light in the background anymore. I don't watch college football. Now, I think everyone watches the playoffs. I think everyone watches the championship game. He didn't go off in the championship game. Neither quarterback did. Now, how much stock do you guys feel like you put in that, you know? Like, what is it with McCarthy that puts him up? What puts him up with everything? Who we got here? James, I think Giants like J.J. McCarthy. Yeah, what is the hype with J.J. McCarthy? Now, I'm not saying he's a bad QB, by all means. I just don't watch college football. I'll definitely be looking into more of J.J. McCarthy because I could see that as a possibility. I probably can see him going in the middle of first round based off of what he can be. It's definitely not what he is right now. It's what he can be in this league. You got Jim Harbaugh, who's now the coach for the Chargers, talking about how McCarthy's the best QB in this class. He was his coach. What else is he gonna say? What is he supposed to say? Tudo says, Juke, as you already know, we've been riding with you since day one, mate. You didn't even have your cam on yet when we showed up. Appreciate it, man. Appreciate it. It means a lot. Trust me, when I say it means a lot from y'all, man, it means a lot. Tommy D will be our QB. His punishment for screwing us out of Daniels. Paul, you might be right on that one. You might be right. You might be right on that one. Nah, I think DeVito's gonna be a backup somewhere else. I definitely don't expect him to be a starter. But yeah, DeVito probably deserves it after that 3-game winning streak that I never thought we were gonna be able to do. Juke, it's forget about it. That's a common dialogue among English-speaking Italians and Joyzy, mate. Now, I'm pretty sure, I'm 99% sure you said that last time and I still didn't remember. So the task is next time you say it, I'm going to have it down. I'm going to have it down, man. Ernie, a Giant fan in Dallas, is in the house. Ernie, a Giant fan in Dallas, in the enemy territory. Well, first of all, appreciate you for your service, man. Being out there in Dallas. You know, I know it's not the easiest thing. But, yeah, man. James says, J.J. McCarthy, he has to sit. He's going to have to, right? Like, that makes sense. And that's what I'm getting from J.J. McCarthy so far. Like, knowing that he's not a day one type of guy. He could be. You know, by all means, maybe he is. But I don't expect him to be, you know, the starter day one. Other QBs like a Caleb Williams, a Drake May, Jaden Daniels, yes. Everybody outside of that, they're not day one starters, in my opinion. From what I've seen. From what I'm hearing and from what I've seen. Paul says, you don't watch NCAA ball. I don't, man. And it's not. Here's what it is, right? So, obviously grew up playing football. Love to watch football. Always watch the NFL. I never got into college because I never had a favorite team. I definitely feel like to watch college ball, you have to have a favorite team to kind of like watch day in and day out. NFL, you know everybody. You know everybody in the NFL. You can sit there and watch on a Sunday like nothing. But for Saturdays, I feel like there's so many games that I'm just like, who do I even watch? I don't have ties. I didn't attend any of those universities, so I don't have ties to any of them. Occasionally, I would be like, hey, like early on, I would say like I was an LSU fan. Never really was though. This is before Burrow and all them. I just remember LSU being in big title games. So yeah, I don't know. It never hooked for me. College ball, I'm not too sure. I don't know the hype. He's decent, but he was in a run-first offense and used as a game manager. That's what I see, too. That's purely what I see from J.J. McCarthy. Like, I don't see, like, wow games. I don't see games that scream first-round QB. I don't. I think he definitely would have benefited if he went back to college for another year. He would have been one of the top QBs next year. So him coming out was definitely interesting, but I think he was cashing in on, national champion. I definitely think he was cashing on that. Forget about it. Wow. I skipped a couple of chats, but I'm going to read it. James, last Sunday match didn't go too well, mate. We lost 36-0, and head coach played me to only go in the second half just to stop the bleeding. Man, y'all going to get it next week, though. If there's a next week. But y'all going to get it next week. Dr. Garrett, wouldn't you agree that only 2 of the top 6 QBs getting drafted will make it as starters? We need Shane to get the right one. I say 3 of the top 6 QBs. Definitely think one of the top 3, they have to start. I'm interested. I think you're talking about possibly, I don't know. Are you talking about May not being a starter? Ernie says it isn't easy. We appreciate your service, man. Nevertheless, we appreciate your service. Now, I will say, I live in Florida. I live in Central Florida. You see a lot of everybody, a good amount of Giants fans, but a good amount of Cowboys fans as well. Cowboys fans are just everywhere. We know this. But yeah, I'm sure it's not easy. And Tudo, you're saying forget about it. Now it makes sense to me. I don't know why I didn't read it that way. Forget about it. Duh. Max, he says, I think all QBs benefit from sitting for a year. Let the hype die down a bit so that they can go in the game with a cool head. Allows them to learn the scheme and get used to their weapon tendencies. Seen it when it happened with Daniel Jones. Now, did it work? He was good as a rookie. Can we agree on that? Daniel Jones looked good as a rookie. Like, we had to be a little excited after that first year. But even Daniel Jones sat a bit. He only sat 3 games, or 2 or 3 games. But yeah, man. So do we think, are we ruling out free agent QBs? Is that ruled out, would you say? If it's my preference, I'm definitely not. Why am I bringing a bridge guy in here? I'm not looking for that. For a bridge guy, I'd rather just play the guy we're paying all that money. Play Daniel Jones and see what happens. That's what I think. We got 12 people in the building, man. Make sure you say what's up in the chat. Drop something in the chat. Like up the stream. Trying to push this content out there. Trying to get more people in here. Appreciate y'all for being in here, though. So yeah, how do y'all feel? Are we moving away from a free agent QB? Is that over with? Let me catch up in here. Ernie says, I think the Giants will bring in back Taylor, go with him early if Jones isn't ready, and I still think Danny Dimes has an upside if the O-line is upgraded. Definitely if the O-line plays better, he'll play better. Daniel Jones played his time this past season without Andrew Thomas and not having the best top 3 left tackle in the game, let alone the best by far offensive lineman on our team. It hurts you. It hurts you, clearly. I saw a stat recently. I can't tell y'all where I seen it from because I just can't remember. But it was the time to sack, and Daniel Jones had the least amount of time to sack at a 2.26 second rate, which is crazy. Just think about how fast 2 seconds is, and that's how quick he was getting sacked. So I definitely think the upside is there. I don't think Daniel Jones will be ready week 1. I don't think so. I think they have to play it safe with him, but who knows? Max says, that's why no matter the QB, I want to bring in a veteran like Gardner Minshew to let the rookie sit for most of the season. So you might be on board for a free agent QB. Gardner Minshew. Interesting. Paul says, appreciate the NCAA response, but dude, you are missing some great football. But to each his own. That's my thing. Like, it's not that I don't want to. It's just nothing keeps me there. I don't know. Nothing purely keeps me there. Because trust me, I understand the passion that's played in college is just different than the NFL. It truly is, and that's why I think being a fan of a school and watching them year in and year out, you're definitely a trooper when it comes to that. You got new kids in there every 2, 3, 4 years. Every 2 to 3 years, you have new rotation of guys. So even the guys that you love to watch in college, they're not going to be there for that long. I don't know. I just haven't got it stuck. I will say, I think every year I'm watching a little bit more. Deion Sanders being in Colorado, that definitely made me watch a couple Colorado games. So I kind of got a little better with that. But I want to, man. What do y'all have a favorite team in college? Do y'all follow anybody in college? Max says Daniel Jones didn't sit for a whole season. Yeah, he only sat 3 games, but drafting him at number 6 overall and not starting him right away. I think if it wasn't for Eli Manning, he would have started right away. Daniel Jones. Ernie said, when the Cowboys lost, my local friends wouldn't even talk about the game for days. No, I wish they talk about the games because they all want to talk before it. We know that. They all want to talk before the game, but after the game, don't want to hear nothing. It's funny. Max says, it needs to be long enough to learn the scheme, and Daniel Jones wasn't the prospect the QBs in this draft class are either. Was not. Ernie said, I agree about the injuries, Max. Tudo says, James, Sunday, February 25th, 10 a.m. Eastern, Team Italy versus France. I played defensive power back, NFL middle linebacker. Hopefully our head coach give me more minutes to crush all the French into pieces, mate. How is that, Tudo? Like, how is playing the game of rugby? Now, that's something I have to get used to watching as well. The game of rugby. But I know rugby's serious. Rugby is serious. Ernie said, I watched with great glee Colorado go downhill so fast. Those were the only games I watched, except I have always been a Notre Dame fan. Now, Notre Dame, I know they're good. Their defense has always been pretty good. Their quarterback is going to come out and get drafted probably late. I think his name was Sam Hartman, I think. Could be wrong, though. I could be wrong. But slowly but surely, I'm watching a couple different games, man. Colorado started off so good. He started off so good, but that didn't last. Just to address this real quick, the Giants don't have that much cap space. That definitely limits them in what they can do in free agency. But restructures that definitely are on the table. Dexter Lawrence and Andrew Thomas, I think they have to get restructured. Have to. Obviously, restructuring is moving more of the money towards the end of their contract so that you get more cap space up front. That's pretty much exactly what they do most of the time in restructures. Guys like Dexter Lawrence and Andrew Thomas is cool with doing that because those are guys that are going to be here and they're playing well. So you don't worry about restructuring contracts like that. Now, Daniel Jones' contract, with his cap hit being what it is, there's no way they should be touching that contract at all. So, the cap space will balloon up a little bit after those restructures and a couple of different cuts. Glowinski should definitely be cut. So there are a couple different ways that we can manipulate the cap and possibly go sign guys. But majority of it, I'm not going to lie, it's probably going to be bringing guys back. Is Saquon Barkley and Xavier McKinney both going to be back? I don't know. But I will say, they're going to cost a pretty penny. Pretty penny towards the cap that we have right now. I think we have like around $22 million right now in cap space. Could free up some, but we're not in the best spot right now. Paul says, with the DJ contract, no way he's not the starter by day one unless he's injured. If he is not, that makes the contract even more ridiculous. Well, Paul, I will say I think the contract's ridiculous where we sit regardless. Whether he's starting next year, week 1 or not, I think it is ridiculous. And it's crazy because DJ's contract really set the level right now for any QB that's going to get a deal. Like, everyone's going to be pointing at, he's getting $40 million. I need to get that contract or more. Everybody is. They're all front runners in Dallas. That's all they are, man. They're all front runners. My go-to saying is, I've seen my team make it and win 2 Super Bowls in my lifetime. How many of y'all seen? That's my go-to saying. No matter how much they're more relevant than us, and they are more relevant than us. They can't win the big game, man. They can't win the big game. Garrett says, Juke, I backed and defended DJ for 4 years because he was our QB. Can't do it anymore. We just need to turn the page. Me too. And that's the thing, right? So when I talked about Daniel Jones after he got the contract, I was hyped. I'm not going to sit here and lie to you guys. I was hyped after the contract because we won a playoff game. We haven't done that in a while. He looked great. He looked phenomenal. That QB, we didn't see that version of him this year at all. Injuries, weapons, whatever you want to say. We didn't see that version of him at all. It looked like a whole different QB. So I'll stand on it. You know, I was a fan of the contract at first. Now it's like, who would have thought it would have fell apart like this so quick? So quick, man. Max says, Paul, it was a mistake, and we can cut him at the end of the season. Next year. Next year is definitely the year he's not going to be here. Most likely. Tudo says, it's 2:21 a.m. here in Italy, and we have to get up for training in a few hours, mate. God bless everyone. Tudo, I think you left already, but appreciate you for joining in, man. Appreciate the donation as well. Appreciate y'all. Ernie says Sam Hartman. Yep. So I was right. See, I know a little bit of college, man. A little bit. Not too much, though. Max says, cut some players and re-sign Slayton and restructure only Andrew Thomas. So you wouldn't restructure Dexter's? You wouldn't? Once again, restructures you typically don't want to do because you don't want to push more money back, and more back. But I can agree. James says, a lot of people like Spencer Rattler. I don't know what to think. He's okay and got a special arm. So Spencer Rattler, if you didn't know, and that's one thing I don't know about college, but I did watch him. He has a Netflix special when he was in high school, QB1, I believe it's called. You should watch that if y'all haven't seen it. Spencer Rattler was on there in high school, top premium QB. He was the top QB going to college, and he was going to be a projected number 1 QB in a draft. Like, that's how high Spencer Rattler was. Went to Oklahoma, didn't play too well. Caleb Williams emerges, loses a spot to Caleb Williams. Spencer Rattler has to go somewhere else, and his attitude, that's one thing. Spencer Rattler's attitude has always been a problem. Back since high school, back prior to that. But the arm talent is there. Probably the raw talent is there with Spencer Rattler. Like, I think the talent is there. It's just everything else you want in a QB. He's also not the biggest QB. He's not the biggest QB. But Spencer Rattler at one point in time was a top QB, and now he's not. So that's why you can see him going somewhere, probably in the later rounds, and who knows, it could work for somebody. Could. Personally, I don't think the Giants should even try it. That's what I think. I don't know. I'm not too sure, but he could be a big addition for somebody else. I was looking at a list, and the Giants actually had the 15th or 16th most cap money. Many teams are really hurting cap-wise. That's the thing. We don't have the most, but like you said, we're kind of in a healthy situation. Think about it, what we had when Gettleman was here. It was bad. When you look at people like the Saints, it's like, how can you even be at that point? Let me search up the Saints cap space if y'all didn't know. Saints cap space. Bro, it's crazy. It is crazy right now. I just need to see the total cap space it got. I just want something to show me the total cap space that the Saints have. Because I know the number, but I want y'all to see it. Yep, right here. Right here. I'm going to highlight the number right here. Or this number right here. I don't know why. My goodness. Negative $85 million in cap space for the Saints, man. -5. -85. Like, let's be happy that we're not in a state like this. Why did that come about? Restructures, backloading money, puts you in a position like that. And let's look at it. Derek Carr with a $35 million cap hit. That makes Dan Jones' cap hit look like nothing. But then they have Ryan Ramczyk, $27 million, their right tackle. Cam Jordan, $23 million. Alvin Kamara's getting $18 million. $18 million. Oh, yeah, their linebacker on the other side, $18 million. Taysom Hill, the tight end QB, offensive tackle, $15 million. Marshawn Lattimore, $14 million. Marshawn Lattimore is a beast. But they got a lot of guys that they're paying. A lot of guys that they're paying. And that's how you end up in negative 85, man. Negative 85 is crazy. So, at least we're not at that point right now. At least we're not. We got 11 people in the building, man. Appreciate y'all for being here. Say what's up in the chat. Hope your Tuesday is going well. And once again, happy Valentine's Day, y'all. Happy Valentine's Day. Let me catch up real quick. Paul says, Max, you're right. Max says, James Spencer Rattler has a quick release and really good arm. His issue is supposedly personality concerns in the school he transferred to. I'm going to be honest with y'all, man. I don't think we shouldn't get Spencer Rattler because of his personality. I'm so over the whole personality stuff. I'm so over it. Kayvon Thibodeau was supposed to be that guy. Micah Parsons was supposed to be that guy. And look at Micah Parsons now. I'm so over that, man. I'm so over it. Ernie says, I can see how you and Doc feel about Jones, but he has shown flashes with brilliance among an offense around him that was horrible other than Saquon. Which is fair. Man. Which is fair. Max says, I love Sexy Dexy, but I don't want to push too much money back, and Andrew Thomas is a premium position, and his contract is longer, which thus means only being okay touching his. Feel you. Ernie says, if the Giants don't re-sign Barkley, where do they go for a running back in the draft? Now, I did see a couple of different mock drafts having the Giants taking a running back. I definitely think the Giants should address it later on, round 3, round 4. Definitely not a top 1 or 2 pick on a running back. But I wouldn't be opposed to it, especially if Saquon's gone. We have to bring in another guy. Like, we can't hope that Eric Gray is going to be the guy, which I think Eric Gray can still be a really good running back and be a really good running back for us. But, yeah, man. Paul says, Max, you're right. Still a cap hit, though. Max says, ideally, by the time the money kicks in, you can extend Andrew Thomas again. Andrew Thomas is going to be a Giant. I hope we make him a Giant for life. Top offensive lineman. I cannot pronounce your name, but Miz was good. What's up, brother? Miz here was good. Appreciate you for joining in, man. We'll get around 50 mil in cap space. We definitely could get there with a couple different moves. Rattler is not an NFL QB. Paul, we're going to see. We are going to see. I think Dallas is also negative. Buffalo negative $44 million. Dang. A lot of teams are negative. I just think the Saints number is jarring. Negative $85 million. It's crazy. 11 people, only 6 likes. Come on, guys. Say it louder for the people in the back, man. We got 12 people in here, man. Like up the stream if you haven't already. We trying to push this content out there. John says Wednesday. I might say Tuesday. Wednesday night. Wednesday nights we live at 8 p.m. Every Wednesday night we live at 8 p.m. So book that on your calendars. Hopefully if you're not working, pull up 8 p.m. on Wednesdays. We here. Miz says this might be the most vital offseason in Giants history. Draft and free agency. For this regime, this is it. This is it. If you want to stay here in the New York Giants, you need to make this offseason be the best one. The best one. And when you look at other teams, they build through the draft. We need to build through the draft again. I'm going to have my grading on these past rookies, how they did last year. I'm going to have my rating on them. So real quick, I want y'all to go ahead. Grade on on a grade school change, on a grade school, sheet. Grade Deonte Banks, John Michael Schmitz, Jalen Hyatt. Each one of them, how did they do in the regular season? I'm going to have mine drop tomorrow. I will speak on it here. One thing, if you're here in the live streams, you get a little sneak peek in the content. But grade Deonte Banks, John Michael Schmitz, and Jalen Hyatt's rookie season. Go ahead and grade it. Drop that in the chat. Grade all 3 of them. Miz says this might be the most vital. I said that. Paul says, isn't this Wednesday? Yeah, I think I said Tuesday, man. I meant to say Wednesday. Miz says go third round running back and a free agent veteran. Yeah, I wouldn't be opposed to bringing in a guy. Bringing a guy like Zach Moss. Bringing somebody like him. Ernie says I agree. Round 3 or 4 for the running back. Breida is not the answer. Yeah, I think Breida's time is over with. Breida's time is over with. Miz says if we don't make early move at a QB, how do you feel about a franchise monster tight end Bowers? Get big time weapon and blocker. Man, I said it in a video. I said it in a video already. If we don't get a QB and we don't trade at all, I really want Malik Neighbors. That's what I want. Now, I think Darren Waller is going to be on this team next year. You know, I personally don't want him to with his cap hit, but I think he's going to be on this team next year. I don't think that stops you from getting a guy like Brock Bowers, but I will say, it's not the biggest fan. Not the biggest fan of the pick. Not him. It's not about him. The pick in general. I just think we have a lot of different holes, and I still think we don't have a true wide receiver one. I don't. I do not think so, man. So that's what I think on that. Miz says Banks A, Schmitz B, but the big time future Hyatt C, but will grow. I think all of that is fair. I'll wait for a couple of different grades. Once again, grade Banks, Schmitz, Hyatt. I will give y'all my grade on them. But yeah. Max says Banks A, JMS B, Hyatt C. Miz says great live, brother. Appreciate it, man. Appreciate it. Appreciate you for being here, man. James says I feel like we should have got a new OC. I just want Brian Daboll to call plays. That's all I want. To me, it doesn't really matter who's the offensive coordinator because they're running Daboll's system. Something I'll touch on really quickly. Steve Wilkes from the 49ers was fired. He should have been our DC. We can't tell the future. You know, we didn't know that was going to happen. And if they win the Super Bowl, he's not fired. But I definitely would take Steve Wilkes right now. Paul says Banks a B+. Ernie says Banks B. John Michael C+. Hyatt C. Unlimited opportunities. Miz says I'd cut Waller. 11.5 mil save. I look at the money being saved with Waller. Yeah, cut him. But then we do have to bring someone in, whether it's in the draft or free agency. Paul says JMS incomplete due to injury. He didn't miss that many games, but he did tail off with injuries. James says, I hope we get a new tight end. Bellinger looked so good that first year, and I think Waller really stunted his growth a bit. I really think so. Ernie says Bowers is 6 Bowers. By the way, I kept saying Powers. I don't know if it was Austin Powers or something, but every time I kept thinking about Brock, it was Brock Powers, not Bowers. 6'4", 245, 4'5", 40. He could be a beast. Now, don't take this any type of way. Remember, Kyle Pitts was supposed to be a beast at one point. That's all I got to say. 2 totally different players. But Kyle Pitts was supposed to be a unicorn, man. And probably that's because of the coaching. Paul says Hyatt incomplete due to no quarterback to throw to him. Sad. All right, so I'll drop my grades now. I think people start grading. Banks, a B. Banks is a B to me. You'll hear me talk about it in the video, but I will say Banks is a B to me. I think there were some games that, you know, like being a cornerback in the NFL, I think other than QB is the hardest position in the league. He came in and he was matched up with some guys. Wide receiver ones exclusively for a lot of different games. I think he gets a B. You know, he could have been better in certain games, and we look at what the other team did in other games. You know, sometimes they did go off on him, but I think he gets a B with room to grow. Definitely. JMS, I'm giving him a B-. I don't think he was terrible, but I definitely think, you know, he did have a couple mess ups. And when you're coached by Bobby Johnson and you're coached by an O-line that gives up the second most sacks in NFL history, it's hard to grade him. It's even kind of hard to grade him a B, I'm going to be honest. But I'll go B- with JMS. He looked good at times. But yeah, definitely room to grow there. And Jalen Hyatt, a C. A C, mainly because he didn't have a QB to throw in the ball. Sadly, the limited opportunities really did get him. But we did see a couple drops from him. And we can't have that. We cannot have that. Can't have no drops from Hyatt. That's all I know. And other than, the go routes, he didn't really have too many other plays. Like, he didn't really show that he can run other routes in the route tree. One of the plays I can think about is obviously the corner route in Arizona. And then he also had that crosser where he juked out a Patriots player after he got the ball in his hands. Still a lot that can be, coming from Jalen Hyatt. You see his speed is, definitely a game changer, but got to target him. Scouts say that Bowers is a better. Hold on, let me scroll up real quick. Rumors Niners want to, bro. Bring Vrabel in as DC. Vrabel didn't go anywhere, so I could see that. Bowers is BEI. Ernie said I cut Waller, also another injury-prone player. Yeah, I can't have that. Miz says scouts say Bowers is better than Kittles. Kittles? I don't know why I'm freezing when I'm thinking about Kittles. Are you talking about Kyle Pitts or are you talking about George Kittle? That might sound dumb, but I'm pretty sure that's George Kittle. Could be. No way on Bauer. We don't need a tight end. Miz says we don't. You put Bowers with Bellinger for the next 5 to 6 years. Have you seen some of the great teams? New England, Hernandez and Gronk, Casey, Kelsey, Niners, all these years, Kittles. Juke, our ratings are so close. Yeah, nah, you guys were kind of spot on. When it comes to the grades, y'all were pretty spot on. I'm not gonna lie. I am not gonna lie. I saw someone say that Banks was an A though. I can't give him an A. I honestly can't. I just feel like if he was an A, defensive player of the year. And maybe that's tough grading, I guess, but defensive player of the year if he's an A. A couple of the interceptions, though, I did love to see. He played good against Washington. Played great against Washington. Miz says Denver won 2 Super Bowls. Shannon Sharp. Why can't Darren Waller be that for that, man? Be that for us. Why can't he? Paul says Banks was as good as a rookie QB could be, in my opinion. Let's look at his stats real quick. Let's look into it. Deontay Banks. Once again, man, y'all let Deontay Banks know I want my tag, man. We're just gonna have that be the slogan for the rest of this channel. Like, tell Deontay Banks to give me my tag, man. That's just gonna be it for the rest. So looking at the stats right now, 53 solo tackles, 11 assisted. He had 2 interceptions, 11 pass defended. ESPN sucks when it comes to stats. Like, show me stats that are actually like for cornerbacks. But that's pretty much his stats right now. Oh, wrong one. That's pretty much his stats right now. We got 53 solo tackles, 2 interceptions, 11 passes defended. Now, looking at exclusive games real quick. There was a couple of matchups where guys were almost putting up 100 yards. I can't pull it up right now. But I don't know. I just feel like if he's an A, he's a defensive player of the year. That's just what I think. I don't know. Maybe that's me, though. Let's go to Kittle, Niners tight end. Yes, good point, Miz, by Ernie. See, Banks for me is an A because of all the reasons you said, and he played them in man coverage, and at times he bullied them. Banks did. Banks had some good games. He really did. He showed flashes. I will go in that, and that's why giving him a B, not the worst thing. It's not the worst thing. I just think if he would have been like locked down, I'm talking about like, I know somebody who said it. Paul said Banks was as good as a rookie QB could be. If he did, I think he would be in the same conversation as a guy like Sauce Gardner, which some people might hate me for that. Sauce Gardner, it might be a little overrated, but Sauce stepped into the scene locking stuff down. I think Banks is still good, though. I think Banks is... I just giving him room to grow. Giving him room to grow. Max says, I can. For me, Banks should have been nominated for Defensive Rookie of the Year. Who wasn't nominated? It was Will Anderson. They put Witherspoon from the Seahawks, who torched us in our game. I'm not really too sure who the other one was. James Hollis said, Waller is good, just nerve damage. I don't know why. Nerve damage why he was traded. Yeah, too many injuries. Max says, stats are similar to JPJ, and Banks played tougher competition and played press man coverage. For me, Banks is better. Yeah, I mean, Banks one-on-one, he was getting assigned some different tasks. And a couple of the interceptions you saw was not in man coverage. You saw him playing zone. So it's good to see because in this defense, he's going to be playing a lot more zone than man, which Wing Martindale's system was man. You're blitzing a lot of dudes. You're man-to-man on a guy. So I think he can translate well, though. I don't look at Banks as just a system cornerback where he's going to struggle now. I definitely think he's going to make a jump. Let's go down the list. He said, will we re-sign McKinney? Before we got this defensive coordinator, I didn't think so. But now I think we will. I definitely think McKinney will be a New York Giant next year. We're going to have to pay him and bite the bullet. But after we got Tennessee Titans defensive coordinator, we have to. He had a guy like Kevin Byard locking down the back end. Xavier McKinney has to stay here and be that for the Giants. Has to. But once again, I didn't talk about it too much. You'll see it in the video tomorrow. Hanks. What am I saying? I'm over here thinking about Banks and thinking about Hyatt. Hyatt, I'm really still excited about. Hyatt. And Hyatt, his play makes it also still having Wandale. Wandale was turning up this year. Wandale played well. So I'm interested to see that. We got 7 people in the building, man. Appreciate y'all for being here once again. Last question real quick. Y'all watch baseball? Do y'all watch baseball? Because now, this is what we have to watch. We got to shift to baseball now. Now, we're going to be here talking about Giants content through in and throughout, and that's what we're going to be speaking on. That's what we talk about here. But, do y'all watch baseball? I got my Lou Gehrig pinstripe jersey on right now. I need to keep this thing clean because my Judge jersey got messed up. But, yeah, y'all watch baseball? Y'all watch baseball in here, man? I'm thinking about starting a channel where I talk about the New York Yankees, man. What y'all think? Do y'all watch baseball? I once again, I do live in Central Florida. I do. So I will be visiting one of the spring training games for the Yankees. I'll be watching them play out here in Tampa. Max says I'm watching Knicks ball. That's one thing, man. I'm not a Knicks fan. That's the only thing. And don't get me wrong, with the way they've been playing, man, it makes me want to be a Knicks fan because that's the only thing that's holding New York together right now. That's the only thing. I'm a Bulls fan, man. Don't ask me why, don't ask me how, or I can explain it. D Rose is what made me a Bulls fan, but the Knicks also just weren't good for a while. You can say the same thing about the Giants. Max says, I watch the Yankees from time to time, but I'm not big on it. I'm going to challenge you, Max. Watch some Yankees games this year, man. Watch some Yankees games this year. We are blessed to have a guy like Aaron Judge on our team, and he needs to stay healthy. And the Yankees are pretty much like the Cowboys. They're all talk right now. But watch some Yankees games this year, man. I think I'm going to be covering them for sure. It will be on a separate channel, though. It'll probably be on a separate channel. Max says we had D-Rose, too. Yeah, y'all did. Y'all didn't have the D-Rose that made me a fan, though. Y'all didn't have the D-Rose that made me a fan, but yeah, D-Rose is getting passed around now. He getting passed around now. But that does wrap things up, man. Appreciate you for being here, Max. Appreciate y'all for joining in. James, Ernie, we had Paul in here. Miz, appreciate you. Who else we had in here? Tudo was in here. John was in here. I'm missing my one guy. Dr. Garrett. Appreciate y'all for joining up here, man. Appreciate you spending time here on this Wednesday. Why are you saying Tuesday? On this Wednesday night, 8 p.m., man. Hope y'all enjoyed y'all day. Wednesdays, 8 p.m. We live. Make sure you spin back around on here. Yeah, stay tuned for my video tomorrow. I'll be grading the rookies outside of the top 3 picks as well. So I'll catch y'all on that in the video tomorrow. Stay blessed. You have a great night. Appreciate y'all for being here. Catch y'all on the next one, man. Peace.